the two things that New Orleans is famous for, which is food and music. So and immediately they come down here for a good time. I always say Santa doesn't drink milk down here; he drinks whiskey.
Hey, that's a good adage. That's a good adage. We like that kind of talk around here. There we go. Hi, I'm Josh Owen. As the owner of a video marketing company in New Orleans, I've been on the quest to learn everything I can about marketing. Everyone has a different style, different strategy, and a different experience. Is there a wrong way to do it? A right way to do it? Let's find out together as we make marketing make sense. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Make Marketing Make Sense. I'm here with David Adams with Elation, and we're here to talk about this new concept you have for these music camps that you're building. How you doing, David? How's it going?
Good, buddy. Good.
Yeah,
Good
nice.
to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again as well. It's like I never see you.
I know.
You
We never really run into each other at all.
Ever. But, here we are.
But here we are today.
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate you asking about the camps. The camps are not necessarily a new idea in the industry, but I would say definitely a new idea in New Orleans as far as how we're doing it. Obviously music has been cultivated down here for years and created down here for years, and there's tons of talent. But I think one of the things that's lacking down here is some of the energy and the groups of producers that are not from here that are coming down specifically to make music.
Right.
And when I say other producers, I mean like major producers, ones with big names. We just had Rodney Jerkins and Jazzy Faye here.
Wow.
Needles as well, who's a big producer with Bruno Mars and some other people. So we brought the industry here to collaborate with local writers and songwriters.
Well, I mean, I almost feel like I need to take a real quick rewind here and even understand when you say writer camp, what do you mean? What exactly are these camps?
Well, so this one we had 5 producers, 20 writers. We put them in all different rooms. We had 4 writers with each producer for a few hours, and then we rotated everybody around. And basically, it's a week of collaboration, and it creates a lot of back and forth with very talented people. You get in the room afterwards, you play the song. Everybody kind of I got to go make a better song than that, and everybody goes back into their rooms and keeps it moving. So it really kind of makes everybody better than just sitting in a room by yourself, because as a team or a collaboration, you're always trying to be better, or be the best at. So I feel like it really creates a great vibe and energy for music.
Yeah, it sounds to me like this is almost like a music merry-go-round that just keeps going and going and
100%.
building on itself.
100%.
Wow, that's wild. Well, so you're getting all these musicians in. They're all, building music and writing songs in your space. How does this writers camp really attribute to your goals that you have for Elation?
So in multiple ways. One, it gains exposure for Elation within the songwriters and the producers and kind of the insiders in the industry, who can either come down and do a project with us, or do another writing camp, or have an artist that they're working specifically for that they can come down and work on their project. So it kind of goes cross-promoting on that sense. But in the long term, Elation owns a piece of the percentage of the publishing of everything that's made. So in the long term, goal is building a huge music publishing catalog.
Awesome.
So if you can imagine, doing one a month and maybe doing anywhere from 30 to 50 songs in each camp, depending on how many people you have here and how long they're here. By the end of the year, you have a pretty substantial music catalog. And obviously the end goal is to use them, whether it's artists or placements in movies, TV, film. But it's kind of never ending, because song's never old until it's out.
Right.
So it's kind of a really it's a really good long-term goal in my opinion. But it truly helps people as well, even in the industry, because a lot of, to give you an example, Needles, who's a big producer, hadn't really gotten a whole lot of placements this year for whatever reason. Maybe there's only so much music to go around.
Right.
But he was able to come to this camp and produce a bunch of stuff for us, and we have a line in for right now 4 or 5 different placements already for the first camp.
Wow.
So,
and when you say placement, that means like in a particular
yeah, there was
place to be used
yeah, there's 3,
commercially?
and I don't want to say any names because nothing's completely done on paperwork yet. But there's 3 that are getting picked by an artist, and 2 that look like they're going to movies.
Wow.
And 1 pretty substantial movie. So
Wow, all
if
right.
it all links, it could be
Okay.
worthwhile for everybody.
Man, then you hear to hear first. I mean, this is a New Orleans centered thing that's now going to be out there in the world. I mean, then that's a great point. Talking about New Orleans, what makes these camps, for New Orleans? Because this is the first in New Orleans, right?
This was the first that we did, yeah.
Yeah, so these are the first of these kind in New Orleans. What makes New Orleans a good environment for?
Oh, the culture down here is just it's music. I mean, the music is in the blood. It's in my blood just because I was born down here. I mean, it just is a part of our culture. And everywhere when you go down in the French Quarter, everywhere you turn, there's a live band next to a live band, next to a live band, next to a live band. It's all different
And it
music.
goes on and on
You'll
and
have
on.
jazz, you'll have rap, you'll have rock, you'll have classic, you'll have all kinds of stuff. Jazz flutes and like even
Jazz
Ron
violin,
Burgundy might
yeah.
even come out. You never know, but it's one of those places that I just think people have fun with music down here.
Yeah.
So it always stayed in the culture. So people from other places pick it up immediately when they come here. Even if they've never been here, they know the 2 things that New Orleans is famous for, which is food and music. So immediately they come down here for a good time.
Wow.
So that energy is always great for studio.
Yeah. And I think that's going to really attract a lot of audience people to come and check it out, and different, producers that haven't come here
Right.
would love to see the space and see what it's all about. So
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely. I always say Santa doesn't drink milk down here; he drinks whiskey.
Hey, that's a good adage. That's a good adage. We like that kind of talk around here. There we go. Get your whiskey here first, folks. Well, fantastic. Well, I think we're ready to move on to the special segment.
Okay,
Are
awesome.
you ready for our special segment?
I'm ready.
All right. So for you personally, as I know, you're a prolific fisherman. So tell me, if there was one musician, and they can be alive or dead, that you would go on a fishing expedition with, who would you go with and why?
Wow. Okay. I have an answer. Just want to make sure. I'd say Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now that's an interesting. Why Dave Grohl?
Well, his path in music has been just crazy. If you think
Yeah.
about drummer from Nirvana,
Yeah.
and then turn into a crazy, rock pop, character sensation, however you want to,
Yeah.
call it, because he's kind of like everything in a sense, but just. I don't know. I've watched a few documentaries and just interested by his whole approach to music. It's just so pure.
Yeah.
That I'd like to see and feel that energy at some point.
Yeah.
But I'd say that's probably
that makes sense. I mean, when I heard that he was in Nirvana, I remember I was like, "Wait, that guy?
Yeah.
He was in Nirvana?
Yeah.
And it's like I just remember watching him in all those
The
music videos.
the
they
Mentos
did,
commercial.
Yeah. And it's like, wow, that's crazy, And he's always doing new things. He's in like a Canadian commercial. I feel like he is just never stopping. He's always. They have this like Italian festival where they play in Italy. All these drummers show up and play, Foo Fighters music. It's
Right.
insane.
Well, he
So-
does a lot of natural things with music too. I think he did. I don't know if it was in Brazil where they had like thousands of musicians play one of his songs or something. It was,
Oh, yeah.
It was something like that, and
Yeah.
it was nuts, and
Yeah.
or doing a whole album in around the country, driving around and doing albums in garages,
Yeah.
and making a whole garage
Yeah.
album. Like things like that. Just it reminds me of what music used to be, and what I grew up listening to in the '90s, especially like. Red Hot Chili Peppers popping up on the roof and doing a random concert for the music video. Like that, nobody does that stuff anymore, So I just feel like that's died, and I would love to visit with him and talk to him about that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, well, this really begs the question: do you think he'd be a good fisherman? I mean, this is a multifaceted, talented guy. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I would think I would think he likes the water. Let's put it like that.
Oh, okay. That's a
All
good
right.
diplomatic answer.
I
like
think
it.
so,
Okay,
you know?
okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. So, David, where can people find you and your anything else that you want to plug on social media?
So you can find elationent.com, or you can find us at elationent on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the way across the board. I appreciate the time and
Dude, we
love
appreciate
talking
you.
about music. So
Yeah, hell yeah. And we hope to see some great music opportunities coming out of you as well. So thanks again for joining us, David. This has been a wonderful episode, and can't wait to see what you do. This has been Make Marketing Make Sense, and we'll see you guys on the next one. This has been Make Marketing Make Sense, brought to you by Comfystone. If you need video content for social media, your website, or email marketing, hit up Comfystone at comfystone.com and follow Comfystone on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.